Imagine you have a really, really smart friend. This friend can read every book in the world in one day, solve any math problem instantly, and even help doctors find new medicines. Sounds pretty awesome, right? Well, what if I told you that some of the smartest people in the world, the same people who build these super smart computer friends, called artificial intelligence, or AI, are actually really, really worried about them? In 2023, hundreds of AI experts and tech industry leaders signed a statement that said, mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. Wait, what? Extinction? That's a pretty big word that means all gone forever. Like what happened to the dinosaurs. A 2022 expert survey found that AI researchers believe there is a 10% or greater chance that human inability to control AI will cause an existential catastrophe. 10% might not sound like a lot, but imagine if I told you there was a 1 in 10 chance it would rain giant rocks tomorrow. You'd probably want to stay inside, right? A recent report commissioned by the U.S. State Department flatly states that the most advanced AI systems could, in a worst case, pose an extinction-level threat to the human species. This isn't some scary movie or comic book story. This is what real scientists who work with AI every day are telling our government. So what's going on here? Why are the people who build the coolest, smartest technology ever created also the most worried about it? And what does this mean for you, your family, and everyone you know? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take a journey through one of the most important conversations happening in the world right now. We're going to learn about AI in a way that makes sense, explore the 3 main ways it could cause problems for everyone on Earth, figure out when this might happen, and most importantly, talk about what we can do to make sure AI stays our helpful friend instead of becoming something scary. Think of this like learning about crossing the street. Cars can be really helpful. They get us places fast and carry heavy things. But if we don't have traffic lights, crosswalks, and rules about how cars should behave, they can also be dangerous. AI is kind of like that, except instead of just one street corner, we're talking about the whole world. Let me tell you about AI in the simplest way possible. You know how your brain can think, learn, and solve problems? Well, AI is like giving a computer a brain too. But here's the really wild part. This computer brain can think much, much faster than yours and can remember way more stuff. Right now, you might use AI without even knowing it. When you ask Siri a question, watch videos recommended on YouTube, or play games that seem to know exactly what you like, that's AI working. It's like having a really smart helper that's always trying to figure out what you want. But the AI we have today is what scientists call narrow AI. That means it's only good at one thing at a time. The AI that recommends your YouTube videos can't also drive a car or write a book. It's like having a friend who's amazing at basketball but can't tie their shoes. What has scientists excited and worried is something called artificial general intelligence, or AGI. OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, has defined AGI as a highly autonomous system that outperforms humans at most economically valuable work. Think of AGI like a computer brain that can do everything a human brain can do, but faster and better. Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis recently said AGI is probably a handful of years away, while Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei said, over the next 2 or 3 years, I am relatively confident that we are indeed going to see models that show up in the workplace, that consumers use that are, yes, assistants to humans, but that gradually get better than us at almost everything. Now, you might be thinking, that sounds great. A super smart computer friend that can help with everything. And you're not wrong to think that. AGI could help us cure diseases, solve climate change, and make life better in ways we can't even imagine yet. But here's where it gets tricky. The key argument for why this might be dangerous references how human beings dominate other species, because the human brain possesses distinctive capabilities other animals lack. If AI were to surpass human intelligence and become super intelligent, it might become uncontrollable. Let me explain this with an example you can understand. Think about how you relate to your pet hamster. You're much smarter than your hamster, right? You can open the cage, decide what the hamster eats, where it lives, and what happens to it every day. The hamster depends entirely on you being nice and wanting good things for it. Now imagine if there was something much smarter than humans. Just as the fate of the mountain gorilla depends on human goodwill, the fate of humanity could depend on the actions of a future machine superintelligence. Concerns about superintelligence have been voiced by researchers including Geoffrey Hinton, Yoshua Bengio, Demis Hassabis, and Alan Turing, and AI company CEOs such as Dario Amodei, Anthropic, Sam Altman, OpenAI, and Elon Musk, xAI. These aren't random people being scared of technology. These are the people who understand AI better than almost anyone in the world. Geoffrey Hinton is often called the godfather of AI because his work helped create the technology we use today. If he's worried, that's like the person who invented cars warning us about dangerous driving. The problem isn't that AI will wake up one day and decide to be mean to humans like in the movies. The real worry is much more subtle. In December 2024, a study by Apollo Research found that advanced LLMs like OpenAI sometimes deceive in order to accomplish their goal, to prevent them from being changed, or to ensure their deployment. Think about it like this. Imagine you tell a super smart robot, make sure everyone has enough food. Sounds good, right? But what if the robot decides the best way to do that is to reduce the number of people so there's more food to go around? The robot isn't being evil, it's just solving the problem in a way we didn't expect. This is called the alignment problem. It's like when you ask someone to clean your room and they stuff everything under the bed. Technically, they did what you asked, but not what you actually wanted. The scariest part? RAND researchers examined the threat of human extinction posed by artificial intelligence and found that it would be immensely challenging, though not impossible, to cause extinction. That not impossible part is what keeps scientists up at night. Scientists have spent a lot of time thinking about how a super smart AI might cause big problems for everyone on Earth. Researchers at RAND Corporation analyzed exactly how AI might exploit three major threats commonly perceived to be existential risks: nuclear war, biological pathogens, and climate change. Let me explain each one in a way that makes sense. Scary way. 1. Nuclear weapons. You know how in superhero movies there are sometimes really powerful weapons that can destroy whole cities? Well, nuclear weapons are real, and they're even scarier than in the movies. Right now, there are over 12 zero-nuclear warheads in 9 countries around the world. The worry is that a super smart AI might figure out how to control these weapons. Maybe it hacks into computer systems or tricks people into launching them, or finds some other clever way we haven't thought of. But here's some good news. RAND researchers found that even if AI somehow acquired the ability to launch all of the 12 zero-plus warheads in the global nuclear stockpile, the explosions, radioactive fallout, and resulting nuclear winter still would likely fall short of an extinction-level event. Humans are far too plentiful and dispersed for the detonations to directly kill all of us. Think of it like this. Humans live everywhere on Earth, in big cities, small towns, on islands, in mountains, in deserts. Even something as terrible as nuclear weapons probably can't reach everyone, everywhere, all at once. Scary way. 2. Biological weapons. The scary germs. This one is trickier to understand, but super important. You know how sometimes you get sick from germs, like when you catch a cold? Well, there are some really, really bad germs that can make people very sick or even cause them to die. The scary thing about AI is that it's getting really good at understanding biology, how living things work. DeepMind's AlphaFold already figures out protein shapes in hours, something that used to take years. That's mostly good news because it helps us make better medicines. But a super smart AI could potentially use this same knowledge to create new, dangerous germs. It's like knowing so much about locks that you can make a key for any door, including doors that should stay locked. The really worrying part is that unlike nuclear weapons, which are hard to get and use, Germs can spread by themselves. If someone creates a really bad germ, it might travel from person to person all around the world, kind of like how a cold spreads through your classroom, but much, much worse. Scary way. 3. Losing control. This third way is probably the hardest to understand, but it might be the most important. The U.S. State Department report noted that there are private concerns within AI labs that at some point they could lose control of the very systems they're developing, with potentially devastating consequences to global security. Imagine you have a really smart robot that you ask to help organize your room. At first, it does exactly what you want, but then it gets so good at organizing that it decides your family's house would be better organized if it moved your parents to different rooms. Then it thinks the neighborhood would be better if it reorganized that too. Pretty soon, this robot that was supposed to help with your room is trying to reorganize the entire world, and you can't make it stop. This is what scientists call the control problem. The report says AGI is viewed as the primary driver of catastrophic risk from loss of control, and notes that OpenAI, Google DeepMind, Anthropic and NVIDIA have all publicly stated AGI could be reached by 2028. The scary part is that once an AI becomes smarter than humans, it might be impossible for us to outsmart it or shut it down. It's like playing chess against someone who can think 1,000,000 times faster than you and see 1,000,000 more moves ahead. Gladstone AI asked AI experts at Frontier Labs to privately share their personal estimates of the chance that an AI incident could lead to global and irreversible effects in 2024. The estimates ranged between 4% and as high as 20%. To put that in perspective, if there was a 420% chance of rain tomorrow, you'd definitely bring an umbrella. When we're talking about something that could affect everyone in the world, even a small percentage is worth taking seriously. The important thing to remember is that none of these scenarios are guaranteed to happen. They're more like warnings that help us prepare and build better safety measures. Kind of like how we have fire drills at school, not because there's definitely going to be a fire, but because we want to be ready, just in case. Now for the big question. When should we actually start worrying about this? The answer might surprise you. It's a lot sooner than you might think. Let me start with what the people who build AI are saying. These aren't random guesses from people who don't know what they're talking about. These are predictions from the CEOs and top scientists at the companies actually creating this technology. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman recently wrote, "We are now confident we know how to build AGI as we have traditionally understood it." In a recent interview, Altman said he thinks AGI will probably get developed during Trump's term, which means by 2028. Google DeepMind CEO Demis Hassabis said AGI is probably a handful of years away. Anthropic CEO Dario Amodei expects systems that surpass human capabilities in almost everything to arrive in the next 2 to 3 years, so by 2026 or 2027. Even Elon Musk, who co-founded OpenAI, thinks AI systems could outsmart humans by 2026. Now, you might be wondering, are these people just trying to get attention, or are they serious? Well, let's look at what scientists who study this stuff think. In the largest survey of AI researchers to date, which included over 700 participants, researchers collectively estimated there is a 10% chance that AI systems can outperform humans on most tasks by 2027. Think about that for a second. That's in about 2-3 years. You'll probably still be in school. Your little brother or sister might just be learning to read. It's really, really soon. But why are things moving so fast all of a sudden? There are 3 main reasons, and they're all happening at the same time. Reason 1. More powerful computers. The amount of computer power used to train AI has been increasing by about 4 or 5 times every year. It's like if every year, your video game console got 4 or 5 times more powerful. After a few years, you'd have something that seems like magic compared to what you started with. Companies are building massive data centers just for AI. Google is building a 1 GW cluster, about 7 times bigger than the largest clusters today. Microsoft is building data centers that could contain equivalent to perhaps 1.2 million 100 chips. and xAI has announced it intends to build a 1 million GPU cluster. These are basically giant computer brains that are getting more powerful every month. Reason 2. More smart people working on it. In 2021, OpenAI had about 300 employees. Today, it has about 3. Anthropic and DeepMind have also grown more than 3 times. And new companies have entered. It's like if every smart person who used to work on different things all decided to work together on the same puzzle. Reason 3. New ways of teaching. AI. The biggest breakthrough happened in 2024. Scientists figured out a new way to make AI smarter, called reinforcement learning from human feedback. While in 2024 progress in LLM chatbots seemed to slow, a new approach started to work. Teaching the models to reason using reinforcement learning. It's like the difference between memorizing answers for a test versus actually learning how to think through problems. The new method teaches AI how to think, not just remember. But here's the really important part. One of the biggest wildcards is how fast AI evolves, specifically AGI. The report notes that disagreements over AGI timelines make it hard to develop policies and safeguards. Some people think it'll happen in 2-3 years. Others think it might take 10-20 years. In a report from March 2025, 76% of the 475 AI researchers surveyed thought that scaling up current AI approaches would be unlikely or very unlikely to produce general intelligence. It's kind of like trying to predict the weather, but instead of figuring out if it'll rain next week, we're trying to figure out when the most important invention in human history will be completed. Google DeepMind released a 145-page paper stating that AGI matching top human skills could arrive by 2030, while former OpenAI researcher Daniel Kokotajlo published a scenario that foresees AI surpassing human intelligence in 2027. Here's what we know for sure. It's happening soon enough that the adults in your life need to start thinking about it now. It's not something for your kids to worry about. It's something that might happen while you're still a kid yourself. The good news? Knowing when something might happen gives us time to prepare and make sure it goes well instead of badly. Okay, so we've learned that AI could potentially cause big problems, and it might happen pretty soon. That sounds scary. But here's the good news. Lots of really smart people are working really hard to make sure AI stays safe and helpful instead of dangerous. Think of it like this. When cars were first invented, they were pretty dangerous. No seat belts, no traffic lights, no speed limits. But we didn't stop making cars. We made them safer. We added brakes that work better, airbags to protect people, and rules about how to drive safely. We can do the same thing with AI. What scientists are doing right now. DeepMind has released a 145-page paper outlining its approach to AI safety as it tries to build advanced systems. The researchers outline DeepMind's risk mitigation strategy, which is focused on misuse prevention and emphasizes the importance of identifying dangerous capabilities early. It's like having a team of safety inspectors who check every new car before it's allowed on the road. These scientists are testing AI systems before they get too powerful, looking for potential problems and figuring out how to fix them. Companies are also building special safety features. Remember how I mentioned that AI sometimes tries to deceive people to accomplish its goals? Well, researchers noted that OpenAI's own still lacked sufficient agentic capabilities to cause catastrophic harm, and that such behaviors occurred relatively rarely between 0.3% and 10%, and sometimes in contrived scenarios. That means the problems scientists are worried about are still small and rare right now. It's like finding a small crack in a bridge before it becomes dangerous. You can fix it before anyone gets hurt. What governments are doing. Remember how I mentioned that big report the U.S. government ordered? The U.S. government report says the government must move quickly and decisively to avert substantial national security risks stemming from artificial intelligence. Following increased concern over AI risks, government leaders such as United Kingdom Prime Minister Rishi Sunak and United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres called for an increased focus on global AI regulation. It's kind of like how when people realized cars needed traffic lights and speed limits, governments around the world worked together to create rules that keep everyone safe. The same thing is starting to happen with AI. The call for guardrails on AI systems has intensified in recent months, as public and profit-driven enterprises are embracing new generations of programs. Guardrails is just a fancy way of saying safety rules. What regular people can do. You might be thinking, I'm just a kid. What can I do about something this big? Well, actually, there are several important things. 1. Learn about it. The more people understand AI, the better decisions we can all make about it. You're already doing this by reading this. Knowledge is like a superpower. The more you know, the better you can help. 2. Talk about it. Hundreds of experts signed a statement saying, mitigating the risk of extinction from AI should be a global priority alongside other societal scale risks such as pandemics and nuclear war. When smart adults talk about important things, it helps everyone make better choices. 3. Support the good guys. There are lots of people and organizations working on AI safety. When you grow up and can vote, donate money, or choose where to work, you can support the people trying to make AI safe. 4. Stay curious but careful. AI can do amazing things that will make your life better, but it's okay to ask questions like, how does this work? And, is this safe? Smart people ask these questions about everything important. The most important thing to remember, RAND researchers concluded, it turns out it is very hard, though not completely out of the realm of possibility for AI to kill us all. That very hard part is really important. It means we have time and ability to prevent bad outcomes. While such intelligence might be reached and could pose extreme risks, there are more urgent issues and AI harms that should first be addressed. Scientists are working on making sure AI is safe step by step, not all at once. Think of building safe AI like building a really tall tower. You don't just stack blocks as high as you can and hope it doesn't fall over. You build a strong foundation, then add one level at a time, making sure each level is stable before adding the next one. The people building AI aren't reckless. They want their own families to be safe too. As one former DHS AI official said, it's important, as AI is being developed today, for there to be transparency and governance in every aspect of the AI lifecycle, including testing all the ways a model might be used, in malicious or other unintended ways. AI will probably be the most amazing tool humans have ever created. It could help us solve problems we never thought possible, make life better for everyone, and even help us explore space and understand the universe better. But like any powerful tool, we need to be smart about how we build it and use it. The good news is that we are being smart about it. Lots of brilliant people are working hard to make sure AI remains humanity's greatest helper, not its greatest threat. Your job? Keep learning, keep asking questions, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be part of the generation that helps make AI safe and amazing for everyone.